CPI data got released today and the market is under a lot of pressure. However, I think Tesla might still be bullish. So for that, I would like to start with the daily chart and we'll try to objectively look at what the charts are telling us rather than believing the mainstream media. So there are some key levels that we need to talk about, starting with this 199, 198 level. And the reason being, look at all of this action near this price level. That's why it is very important. The next level I would like to put up is around here, roughly 183, and one more I would like to put is around 170 over here. Now if I zoom in, look at what is happening today. The candle is still in the green, so that is a good sign, and we are still above the 50 moving average. That is nice. However, we are facing rejection from the 198 $200 mark. Not only this, if I try to put another trend line which is from the recent uptrend, which is something of this sort, that clearly shows that this trend line has been broken. Price tried to retest today but failed, but this does not mean that this is bad news for the stock. Why? Because look at this action that is happening. We saw a nice pump. So this is the pole of the flag, and look at this, what is happening. We are actually forming a bull flag now on Tesla, and the bottom part of this bull flag is around the 50 moving average at around $185, $183. So very interesting price action developing on Tesla. Look at the price movement since November 2022. Look at all of this action that was happening, and now I think we are going down towards maybe 170 again. Why? Because we want to form an inverse head and shoulder and then try to bounce from here towards the 225 to 30 mark. So both this pattern that I talked about, the inverse head and shoulder and the bull flag that I showed you, are actually bullish patterns. However, we cannot talk about Tesla in isolation. We have to look at the index itself. So we'll talk about the Nasdaq, but before that, let's quickly glance at what happened with the CPI today. Year on year came in at 6.4 versus the expectation 6.2, so that is not good. Also, you can see the core CPI itself came higher year on year basis, and the core CPI month on month was the same. So overall, yes, inflation is going up, which is not good for the market. So we talked about two bullish patterns that were forming on Tesla. Now if I quickly draw up this fib level, there is some important price points, some area of resistance. First being this one, 200, 205. Look at this. This is actually the 0.5 fib level, and the support we were talking about, the 185 $180 mark, is actually the 0.382 level. So there is quite the chance that price might just consolidate in this range for a few days and then might try to bounce. Very similar to what happened over here. Price consolidated in this range and then we found this bottom and bounced from here. So if I talk about this consolidation, this was roughly 26 days. So 1 month of consolidation happened. If I try to follow the same logic from this point, roughly 1 month will be on 10th March. So till that time we can see a lot of consolidation happen on the Tesla stock. Not only this, if I try to look at the 4-hour chart itself, look at this 100 moving average once again sitting at 185, confirming the theory that I presented that this area is important and some consolidation might happen in this range. Also, we can see that the 50 moving average has started to pick up, so that is another nice sign that is forming. However, the RSI is still 63, so little bit cool down needed. So with the passage of time, if we continue this consolidation, or even if we come down to test this level where the 50 moving average is, that will cool down the RSI, giving us a better chance of a nice pump towards 225 where the long term channel is. In the short term, yes, 215 can happen also where the 200 moving average is available, but the real target is this one, 225, because this is a very long term channel that we had since long time. So this would be the ideal target for a bullish upward movement. Now for the inverse head and shoulder, it is not necessary that we go down till this point. Why? Because look at this price action that was forming. This was the shoulder line, and we saw that the price clearly broke out of this, trying to retest and bouncing again. So maybe another retest of this level can happen, this time around 190 187, and then price might try to bounce from here. So these are some of the bullish patterns that are forming, but like I said, we cannot talk about Tesla in isolation. So let's quickly jump over to the Nasdaq itself. So yet again we see that very strong uptrend was there on the 4-hour chart, and I mentioned this before also that this level will get tested, 450 550 250, and that is from where we are seeing the rejection today. But look at this 200 moving average, price has broken above this and we are seeing a crossover happen on the moving averages. So once again, this is a nice setup that is taking place. Also very similar to what I was talking about Tesla is, look at this pump, and now we are trying to form this bull flag again where the bottom part is around the 200 moving average. So yes, there can be a retest of 12,200, 12,100, and then price might try to bounce from here. So another bullish setup for the Nasdaq itself. However, nothing is 100% certainty in that case. In order to manage the risk, we need to keep an eye on the 12,000 level. There might be a retest of this, a bounce where we test this long-term channel and reject from there. So that is quite possible. We have to manage our risk at this price point. The next interesting level would be around the moving averages themselves at around 11,750, and the third level would be 11,500. Why? Because look at all of this action that happened here. So these are some of the key levels that might come into play. But continuing the discussion regarding the bullishness of the market, if we are able to break this bull flag, then yes, we can test 12,900, which was this wick over here. If there is further pump in the market, then we are looking towards the top side, 13,000, 13,100. So you can see that the market is showing a lot of pump and dump today. However, the overall situation is actually a bullish setup. This is the reason why we like to separate ourselves from the mainstream news, and we like to present objective technical analysis based purely on the charts itself. So in terms of the index themselves, another important one we need to check is the SPY, and yet again on the 4-hour, look at all this upward movement giving us the crossover of all three moving averages. So that is a nice setup that we are having. Once again, we are forming the bull flag. However, today CPI was not really nice, so this candle is forming, which is a little bit bearish, but again, this was top part of the bull flag and we are rejecting from there. So there might be a retest of the bottom part of this flag at around 405, 403. So that is possible. Some sort of this action is possible. So again, this drop is actually nice for the market. This is not something you should be worried about, and this is actually a bullish setup. And if I zoom in and show you the moving averages, look at how close they are. We are soon going to see a complete crossover known as the golden cross. So if that happens, that will be a bullish pattern again. However, as we know that these golden crossovers are lagging indicators, so cannot be trusted a lot, but yes, one of the bullish setups that is happening. So once again, for Tesla, we are still looking at this bullish setup, and if we get a few closes that are above 200, 202, somewhere around here, then that might actually accelerate this bullish process. So we have to keep an eye on the closing price of Tesla stock over the next few days. And as you know, tomorrow and day after tomorrow, important economic data will be released, so that might affect the market. But in terms of the chart itself, yes, we are still in the bullish section. So quickly scanning the news about Tesla, look at this news. Tesla board members say Musk doesn't mind bankruptcy if a rival builds a better car. Then we are seeing the Tesla workers launch union campaign in New York, but this news regarding this bankruptcy statement is actually a negative statement. However, still we are seeing that the stock is holding nicely above the support levels that we mentioned. So do let us know what you think is going to happen. Are we really bullish or we are not bullish? This is just another trap for the retail investor. And don't forget to subscribe, like and share, hit the bell notification so you are notified whenever we upload a new video. And a reminder that the market is extremely volatile. If you're actively trading, please consider using proper risk management. Thank you for watching.